Pretty sure last week I told you guys I was thinking of doing a weekly recap video. Well, I woke up this morning and I was like, nah, I'll just stick with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday vlogs that I've been doing. And I've been dropping those, I think, consistently now for 2 weeks. And I'm going to be sticking with those times. I'm going to be doing 10-minute, maybe max 20-minute vlogs. They're motivational and educational pieces that I'm going to drop on Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on YouTube. So, I want to come in here. The purpose of this video is that I wanted to start, I actually got the idea from Alex Hormozy. And he was saying that if he could go back in time, he would start documenting and vlogging his journey more often. And I've documented my journey on Instagram, but I haven't done it as well on YouTube. So I wanted to come in personally and log, this video for myself, but I wanted to start giving you guys leadership and life lessons that could really just help you out, help you succeed and win. I figured that would be a great way to kind of showcase some things that I'm doing in my life and to leave those breadcrumbs behind for people that are working their way up. Now, you might be beating me in multiple areas of life, okay? But we can all learn from each other, and there's probably some areas where I'm succeeding higher than you, and you can learn from those breadcrumbs. So, one of my mentors, he always told me to only listen to people that have results above your own. Like, you're not going to take wealth advice from broke people, right? Like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to get relationship advice from somebody that is single and just can't seem to hold together their relationship unless they're telling you what not to do, right? So a little change of scenery. I came out to the garage. The videos I do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm doing out in the pool. So I came out here and I wanted to give you guys a different background. Yeah, we got the Urus back there. And that leads me into today's weekly recap, and the life and leadership lessons that I learned from two 8-figure CEOs this last week. So I have some mentors that coach me in business and with my personal and professional goals. I'm a coach, but I have my own coaches. And I coach 8-figure entrepreneurs. I help them with my areas of expertise, leadership, high performance, and mindset. But I work with these guys to elevate my game. And so I went and trained with one of them this last week, and the other one I did a Zoom call with him, and he lives in Florida as well. And I'm going to share the leadership and life lessons that I gained from them. I'm also going to share the lesson I learned about balancing it all this week, because this week was crazy for me. And also going to share with you guys a nugget that I got, a life-changing nugget that I got from a book that I'm reading that can really help change your trajectory in life and help you accomplish your dream with less time. So the Urus behind us, interesting story. There was a guy that I respect that was talking shit about Lamborghini Uruses. And just because I respect him doesn't mean that I agree with everything that he says. And he was kind of bashing the vehicle. But, and he's a very, very successful business owner, okay? And it kind of stung. It really stung when he was talking shit about the vehicle. He was saying that it's kind of like a knockoff Lamborghini and all this type of shit. But this car right here means a lot to me, because this car is a vehicle that I actually bought for my wife. Okay, I grew up in a small town of like 300 people in Northern California. Owning a Lamborghini was so far outside of my mind that I couldn't even tell you how much they cost, not until a few years ago, I never even looked at the price tag of one because I didn't think they were just on a whole nother planet. So I grew up in very humble upbringings, very sheltered, and I didn't really think I could accomplish much success in life. I wanted it deep down inside. I was kind of like Aladdin, I was like, I would envy and I really wanted to be successful, but I felt like that could never be me. I was just that, like the poor kid, like Aladdin was. And we had a roof over our head. We had a loving family and everything. But my point is that I eventually got myself to a spot where I could buy a Lamborghini. And I bought it for my wife, and it was a gift to her, something very, very special to me inside of my heart. And it's in my name, okay? And so is our other vehicle. I bought her a 2015 Jeep Altitude back when I was in Afghanistan on my 3rd deployment. And that was another gift to her. So I currently actually don't have any vehicle for myself. I drive the Lamborghini, I drive the Jeep, but those are both her cars. And that brings me a lot of gratitude and a lot of happiness. And so the guy that mentioned this about it being kind of a shit car and we should just sell them and it's like all this type of shit, it was very, very disappointing. But I learned that when you get to a position, this is a leadership lesson. And there's actually, I think I have 4 or 5 lessons for you guys today on leadership in life that can help you with your leadership in life success, okay? So if you're growing a company or trying to be successful inside of a company as an entrepreneur, in the military, these are gonna help you. And in your home life too, these are gonna help you out as well. So this guy, I believe he does well over 9 figures. And just because somebody that is successful and somebody he has a huge following, cult-like following. But what I've learned over the years about leadership is that the higher you go up in position, the more your words are gonna sting. You guys really remember that. You should be mindful of your words. Now, you should always speak your mind. A true leader speaks his mind. He's not afraid to say what he thinks and what he believes. It's not his job, the guy that I'm talking about, it's not his job to hold back his opinion. It's my job to callous myself to the opinion. But I think it's a very important lesson that I failed at when I was a company commander. When I was an infantry company commander, I wasn't careful with my words and I experienced some problems because of that. I noticed that when I started being hard on the guys, my NCOs were being very hard on the guys and they took it to an extreme. So the higher you go up in position, the more effective, the more weight your words are gonna hold, okay? So as a leader, your word is your weapon. What you speak is your weapon. It's the thing that gets things done, and the higher you go up, the bigger the effect, okay? So the higher the position, the bigger the effect of your words. And so that was like the first thing that really, hit me today as I was reflecting on this last week. And it kind of put me into a negative spiral, and so I was like, all day I was in my feelings and I was fucking pissed off and I was like, fuck this guy, blah, blah, blah. My attitude kind of started taking over, right? And I also didn't get a lot of sleep last night, like 4 hours or less. And that's been the whole deal this last week. So this last week, basically, and as I tell this story, guys, I'm going to be dropping the lessons throughout the entire video here, okay? So this last week, I moved my entire life from Colorado to Florida. We did that last year. Colorado was a great place for me to live. I loved it. It was where I finished my time in service as an infantry commander. But I felt like I was getting complacent. So I moved out here to Florida. And I have the privilege of training at a world-class gym, which is an MMA gym, Kill Cliff Fight Club. It's one of the best gyms in the entire planet. And it has top fighters like Gilbert Burns there, Michael Chandler. There's all types of top people in that gym. And so, fortunately, I got the privilege to be able to go in there and train. And this last week, every week I'm just getting my ass whooped in there. I've got 4 fights, guys. I won 3, lost 1. And the one that I lost was against an Olympic wrestler. That was last year. So, I'm in there training, and last week was brutal with MMA training, getting my butt kicked. I'm 37 years old. I'm an amateur fighter. And I chose to do MMA fighting just to challenge myself, to grow. And not only am I doing MMA, but I'm also building a business. I'm building my coaching academy, my leadership, high performance, and mindset academy. I help people with body transformations, life transformations, and I help them grow their businesses. And I do that by building the individual. So last week was just a grinder, very little sleep, heavy training. My cauliflower ear flared up. I got an injury in my elbow, and on top of that, basically I had a moment last week where I was just completely defeated, and in those moments when hard times hit, you got to get harder, okay? That's the reality of it. A weak man is one that caves in to those hard times. That's how you become weak and weaker across time, is you cave in over and over and over again. I used to believe that you should just go ahead and sleep it off. Get a good night rest when you're going through some stress. Just sleep it off, get refreshed, and bounce back. But actually what happens when you sleep stress off, you end up becoming weaker. You learn to run from the stress. Now listen, you don't have to agree with me on all of this, okay? But this is what's worked for me. It's helped me harden my mindset. When stress hits, instead of withdrawing from it, I lean into it. And I get harder when the times get hard. And so last week, when things were tough, I just kept pushing myself to stay on course, stay on track. I don't care how much sleep you didn't get, Jeremiah. I don't care that you're building a business, Jeremiah. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. And I was kind of battling myself. But the thing that got me to actually go and execute my training, and this is what you want to listen to. This is the lesson that'll help you with your life and with your training. If chasing an accolade is never enough. Listen, guys, I'm 37 years old. The chance of me, who knows how high I can go in MMA, right? If I was after it just for an accolade, it would be very easy to get discouraged at my age, at my skill level, and at everything that I'm going through in life. But the thing that caused me to pull through the adversity, still go to training and do my tasks, and get hard when the times got hard, was my why. I knew that in those moments, that was a chance for me to fortify my character. So during times of adversity and stress, those are the times where you can harden your character. You have to know that what you're after is not really the achievement. It's not really the accolades. It's the person that you're becoming. Remember this. The purpose of goals is to grow, not to achieve. The purpose of your goals is not to achieve. It's to grow. It's to grow into the person that achieves them. That's what we're all after. So that's lesson number 2 from MMA this last week, and a heavy, heavy workload. The other thing that happened this last week is that, like I said, it was a very stressful week, as it is in entrepreneurship, as it is as a leader. Okay, you guys that are leaders at home, or whether you have a business, or you're in the military, or maybe you're just got a civilian job that's very, very stressful. We all get slammed with stress all the time. And I sat down with 2 of my mentors this week, 10-figure entrepreneurs, like I said, and I was talking to them and getting some mentorship by them. And these are the lessons from 10-figure entrepreneurs I'm going to share with you. So I'm with the one guy, and all the mentors that I've had in my life, I wrap them up under one persona, which is Major Steel. So we're going to call both these guys Major Steel, all right? So Major Steel, I'm in the gym with him and I'm working out with him, and we start talking about life and what he has going on in his life. And he's got some relationship stuff going on. And we start talking about that relationship stuff. And normally when I sit and talk with him, it's very much single-minded about business, where his business is going, what goals he's after, his professional life, who he's helping. It's very, very productive. But in this workout, his mind was obsessed with his relationship. And so he had all this energy that was being leaked out into his relationship. Like when you want to accomplish a goal, that your thoughts are energy. And when you're thinking about the goal and what you have to do to get there and you're taking action on it, you are aligning your energy to the goal. But he had this distraction in his life, this problem in his life and his relationship. And so he had an energy leak. His mind was leaking energy into his relationship, and he wasn't focused on business and his professional life. And this is a 10-figure guy. So you think, when you have more money, you have less problems. No, you have the same problems. You just have more money. And so what I learned was that relationship challenges cloud your clarity. If you want to be an effective leader, you need massive amounts of clarity. The only way that you'll have clarity in your life is by removing the stressors, by removing the things that are eating you up, by removing the problems in the back of your mind. Get those off of your mind. Get those energy leaks patched up and sealed so that you can channel your energy and be productive and effective. Okay? This guy was good at compartmentalizing, but it just wasn't enough. It was one of those life things. So you guys if you have problems that are in your life that are recurring day by day by day, those are energy leaks that you need to resolve. That is leadership lesson number 3. That comes from a 10-figure entrepreneur that I learned that from. Okay? patch up, plug up the energy leaks in your life to be an effective leader. All right. Number 4 is, I was sitting down with Major Steel again. I was on a Zoom call with him, and we were talking about achievement some more. And I was telling him about some of the stress that I was going through, yada yada, right? Like I'm getting tired of even talking about it on this video. And I really wasn't even like honestly, guys, a lot of our stress is not even fucking stress, right? It's just problems that we're creating inside of our own mind. Like they're not even real problems. We just make them into problems. But either way, something got me last week, and I was creating this problem in my head. And I sat down with this mentor, Major Steel, and he was having me picture the end, essentially. He was having me visualize my success. He said, hey, Jeremiah, you guys can do this right now. Visualize where you want to be in 5 years. He's like, take me there. When you wake up tomorrow, how do you feel? I said, peace, relief, at ease, accomplished. And he went on. He said, describe it in detail to me. Describe the type of work that you're doing. Describe the company to me. Describe the team that you have around you. Describe your relationship with your wife. He said, what are you most proud of when you wake up and you feel peace and you feel relief and you feel accomplished? He said, what are you most proud of now that you're there? I said, my relationship with God. And I was surprised that I even said that, because there was periods in my life where I called myself an atheist or agnostic, and I worked very, very hard at building up my faith. And I said, in this moment where I have everything that I've been working towards, the thing that I'm most proud of is my relationship with God. That really hit me. And it made me realize how important that is now, how much harder I can work on it now. And the lesson that he gave me, this is what I wanted to give you guys, is he picked up, my mentor, Major Steel, he picked up that what I was looking for was love from God. He said that when I achieve everything that I've set out to achieve, I'm going to be most proud of the relationship that I've built with God. And he said, Jeremiah, I want you to remember something. You've achieved a lot in your military career. You've achieved a lot in life. He said, I want you to remember this. God is going to love you regardless of what you achieve. And that, I about broke down, to be completely honest. Fuck, man. I'm like, I fought dudes in a cage before. I've ran 100 miles. I've done military deployments, and I'm a tough person, right? This guy hits me right in the heart. And it made me realize that for those of you guys that find a sense of worth and love and achievement, that you can feel love for yourself. God has love for you regardless of the achievements in your life. Okay? That love exists now regardless of the achievement. You don't need the achievements to feel loved. I don't know who needs to hear that, but one of you guys needed to hear that today. Okay, and then there's 2 more lessons for you guys. So the second to last lesson is a home leadership lesson. To be an effective leader, okay, you're gonna go through a lot in life. You're gonna go through a lot of ups and downs, right? You're gonna get stressed. You're gonna come home, and your wife and you, if you get married, or your husband, you're gonna come home, and you're gonna have a good relationship with her, and you're gonna tell her all the problems that are going on in your life. And it's gonna be very natural to just dump on her all the stress that you're going through. And if you're building a company, there's gonna be a lot of stress, most of which she probably doesn't even need to hear. But I caught myself this last week. I did something else nice for my wife this last week. It was her birthday. I put her up into a 5-star hotel, and I wanted her to get treated really nice because she ran her first marathon. And I thought that was an awesome gift to give to her. So she went up there and she stayed in the hotel. And I remember she went up there, and I was kind of thinking, like, man, when's Jeremiah going to do some stuff for Jeremiah? So, I got her to the car, the other car, the 5-star hotel. I'm like, what do I got, When's Jeremiah going to do some shit for Jeremiah? I mean, I got some guns and some stuff like that. I got some tattoos, but when is Jeremiah going to do some things for Jeremiah? And I kind of started being a little bit selfish while I was being selfless for her. And I reflected on that for a little bit. I'm like, why the fuck do I feel like I need anything? why do I feel like I should have a turn? Why do I feel like she can't have this gift that I've been working so hard for her to have? And so I reflected on this throughout the last week, and I realized that I just lost track of what really made me happy as a household, as a home leader. My duty as a man, this is the leadership lesson. I'll read you guys what I wrote. This is what I believe. You don't have to believe me on this. I believe it's a man's duty to sacrifice his pleasures for his family's safety, security, and happiness. There's going to be a time in my life where I'll have plenty of time to sit back and go into a hotel and do whatever the hell. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. You know what? About a month ago, I did a work trip and I spent a night in a hotel. I had the hotel to myself, and I was in there, and I got a little bit bored, and I started snacking a little bit too much. I was eating the chocolate almonds and stuff, and the more alone time I spent with myself relaxing, the more complacent I got, and then I actually started feeling like shit because I was being complacent, I was overeating, and I was being lazy. What makes me actually happy in life is being productive and moving forward. So I don't actually need to cool off. I don't need the trip to the hotel. What I need is more results that help me help her do more things like get and stay in the hotel. So I believe that it's a man's duty. I lost sight of my leadership duty as a man. My leadership duty as a man is to sacrifice my pleasures so that she can have her happiness, her safety, and her security. The last one here, guys. Again, like I said, you don't have to agree with me on that. I understand. Maybe it's controversial, but I think it's a very good belief to have about your role in the household as a man. The last leadership lesson that I have for you guys is on dream achieving. And this comes from a book that I'm reading. The author here says, this is one of the best things I learned all week, guys, out of everything. These are the best lessons I got all week. The ones from my 10-figure entrepreneur mentors, the lesson from putting my wife up in the hotel, the lesson from a guy I respected talking shit about the Urus, okay? And this lesson right here is something that I studied this week and I needed to bring to you. The author says, the vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by. This you will become. When I changed myself from enlisted soldier in the military, from college dropout, before I joined the military, I couldn't even get a job at a 2-star restaurant. I just didn't qualify and I wasn't good enough. And I went from that to, in the military, I was making $1,500 a month. And now look at the life. Holy shit. I've made, I've done $100K in a month. That was a home run. I don't hit home runs every single month, but let me tell you, man, that was incredible. So to go from $1,500 in a month to $100K in a month, holy shit. And in between, I went from $1,500 a month to Ranger to operator in the 75th Ranger Regiment. I accomplished a dream that was in my heart that I didn't think I would qualify for, be able to do, and that very few people got an opportunity to do. But I operated under a vision with the life. When I wanted to become that Ranger, I had a vision inside of me, and I was operating out of faith and with my heart. Every day I moved. For 9 years, I moved with vision and heart and faith, vision and heart and faith. And I didn't know if I was ever going to become that operator. I just wanted it, and I felt called in my soul to go do it. And then with this life that we're living now as entrepreneurs, I didn't know that I could actually pull this off. I just had a vision when I was in the military that I could be traveling, helping people with mindset, leadership, fitness, personal development, all the things that I learned about life success, goal setting and achievement, how to change myself from a shy kid like that Aladdin boy to a successful entrepreneur. And it's like this author said, the vision that you glorify in your mind. I had a vision as I was pursuing the path of becoming a Ranger. I had a vision as I was pursuing the path of becoming an entrepreneur. I had a vision of the leader that I wanted to be, and that, if you guys have a vision of the leader that you want to be, and you hold that vision in your mind and you fall in love with it in your heart, your life will become that vision and that love that's in your heart. You will eventually wake up and love the life that you've cast the vision on. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by. This you will become. That also means that if you don't have a clear picture of where you want to go, by default, your life is going to become a byproduct of what you don't want. Because you have an image in your mind already. You have a feeling in your heart already. Is your feeling that you're not good enough for a successful life? Is your vision that you're going to end up unsuccessful, divorced? What is the vision that you have for yourself as a leader? Because your life is going to become that vision. Mine did, and yours will too. If you look back on your life with where you're at right now, the life that you're living right now was created through thoughts and feelings before you showed up to this day. You had a vision that you carried in your mind, and you are living that life that you expected. So change your vision, change the things that are in your heart, change the feelings that you have about where your life can go. Fall in love with the vision, and your life will become that vision. Love is like one of the most powerful forces in the face of the planet, guys. When you are in love with something, you will do anything to get it. That's why a drug addict can go to extreme ends to find his fix. That's why when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're in the gym trying to work out and you're going through a tough time, you can't, it's like they're ripping your soul out. You can't think straight because you love that person. What if you loved the vision that you have for life as much as an addict loves his drugs, as much as somebody who's married loves their spouse? What if you had that much love for the life that you want to create? So guys, those are the lessons that I learned this last week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking to do some more of these. It's looking like I'm going to play with Saturday or Sunday for these life and leadership lesson videos. I'll continue to pass down the lessons I get from my mentors and everything that I've gone through throughout the last week. That was this last week's recap. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in more videos. Drop your biggest takeaway down below in the comments section. I'd love to know which key point, which lesson really resonated with you. Really, do you feel like it's going to help you with your life? Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Conquer all.